Shanahan is absolutely nuts about his collection.
I'm the second youngest of 7 children, and I guess I used to always get hand-me-downs. I used to get broken toys and second-hand stuff from the older brothers, and so I always wanted things brand new and bigger and better. I had smaller type Meccano sets, and I always used to try and scab bits of Meccano wherever I was. Whenever we went to visit people and I knew they had older brothers or whatever, and they might have a Meccano set lying around in the cupboard not used anymore, I always asked, and I always wanted bits and pieces. So I guess now I can afford to do it. This is a steam-powered fan I've made to keep you cool in the tropics. It's made out of 1970s English Meccano. This is a model of Big Ben that I made. It's out of French Meccano, over 1,000 pieces, and it's even got a working clock face. Meccano sets are a very practical toy. You create things out of nothing by virtue of the Meccano system. So I guess it seems that in engineering and architecture and building design professions, a lot of people had Meccano sets. I collect Meccano from the 1970s, and this is the range that basically went from 1970 through to 1978. The bottom of the range is the Pocket Meccano, and this was available in supermarkets and just very cheap, $2 a packet. This is set number 1 from the 1970s. It's actually still shrink wrapped from the factory, so it's untouched by human hands after 30 years. It's just your rudimentary basic kit, but it's worth quite a lot of money being in mint condition. Set 1 can be converted into set 2 if you buy conversion set 1X. And also, in addition to that, you've got the set 3M, which is your basic set 3 with a motor in it. Set 4M's the same. Set 4EL, you get a motor plus electronic parts, and also additional things like the gear set, a Caterpillar track set, so you can do a bulldozer, and electronic control set, so you can do all the things that you do with the 4EL set. Set number 8 is the largest set I've got. Quite a complex set and very expensive in its day. So complex, in fact, that I can tell that a lot of parts in the set have never actually been played with. I don't build that many models, but when I do, it's like meeting an old friend, you know. It sort of brings a bit of a section of your childhood back to you. Meccano lasts. I've got pieces that are around 100 years old, and they're sort of almost as good as the day they were made. It's sort of the real thing, if you like. I don't think there'll ever come a time when I'll have too much Meccano. I guess set number 10 priced at about $5,000. That's out of my reach at the moment, but it's enjoyable to collect, so I dare say I'll keep going.
Chris, I love this collection. So many great things, and the fan and the steam engine as well. Do you want to give that a flick for us?
Yeah, I might do that now. It looks like it's ready to go.
Ooh. Wow.
Now, where does the steam engine part come from?
You had your basic Meccano sets, plus you had accessories, and the steam engine's probably top of the line. It's the most sought after of all the accessories that a kid that had a Meccano set could get. Funnily enough, I've been requested at parties to catch a taxi, go back to my house, pick up the steam engine, bring it to the party, and you'll find 40 people all stand around going, "Oh wow, check that out."
So we're looking at part of your collection here. You've got the sets, obviously, but I've got something on the end that I don't even know what the blue windy thing is.
What it does is you wire it up to your electric motor, you wind the handle, and then the motor goes. Presumably, like Meccano sets went all over the world, all over the British Empire, so presumably somewhere in Nairobi, a kid had a use for the hand generator.
And one massive arm.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to say I was a little bit of a Lego girl, so I really don't know a lot about Meccano. Can you explain to me how it's evolved?
Well, originally Frank Hornby created it for his sons, and he just drilled brass strips, and then he came up with the holes at equidistant centres, which is the key to the Meccano system. It started off as all silver, and then for marketing reasons they brought in colour, so you had the blue and gold era, and then it went to the red and green era. The last era it was the blue, yellow and zinc era that you see here, which is through the late 60s, 70s, up until the company's demise.
Sure.
Do you think that practicality and the need for all the tools and all the pieces and screwing and intricate process, do you think that contributed to the company's demise?
I guess they couldn't compete with plastics. Meccano's system sort of had to compete against things like Lego and all the different, more colourful toys that when a kid walks into a shop, he goes for the most colourful thing.
Now, this seems to me to be an example of something that was designed to collect.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a system, and once you buy one set, whatever it is, set 2, you can get a conversion set that makes it into a set 3. And then in all the publications and the manuals, they implore you to go and get a clockwork engine, electric engine, and there's all sorts of add-on accessories, and, you know, it's all marketing, and Meccano was part of that.
I have to say, I was looking at this earlier, Chris, and I love this. It's the story of the Meccano boy, and inside it actually reminds me of Andy because it says...
It looks like Andy.
Yeah, and it says, I am the Meccano boy. I am always bright, keen and happy. Great.
It suits me down to the ground, doesn't it? Thanks very much for coming in and showing us your collection. Really appreciate it.
No worries, thanks.
Well, here's tonight's mystery object, and this one will really have you scratching your head.